The next type of contract is tacit contract. Now, tacit contract is a part of implied contract where we have already discussed this. Tacit contracts are the contracts which are understood from the behavior of the parties, from the conduct of the parties, from the actions of the parties. Told you, when you go in a bus, you directly get into it and buy a ticket. When the bus displays a board, it is agreeing to take all the passengers who want to get to that destination. At the same time, when the passenger gets in, he is agreeing to pay the fare to get to that destination. Nobody needs to speak anything. Nobody needs to get it into writing. It's a tacit contract. Again, when you draw money from ATM, you don't talk to the machine. You don't enter into a written contract with the machine. But from the actions, it is assumed that you have entered into a contract. You withdraw money from your bank. It's a valid contract. So all these contracts are tacit contracts, which are implied, which are understood from the actions, conducts, or the behavior of the parties. Next is quasi-contract. Again, the example that I gave you of you coming to my shop is an example of quasi-contract. Quasi means just like. So quasi-contract in effect actually is not a contract. It is just like a contract. It is not actually a contract, but it is similar to a contract. The example I gave you, wherein you come to my store and forget the fruits, do you think that was a contract? Did you contract with me to store your goods safely? No, you did not. So there was no contract, but law put up a duty on me to store the goods safely. So law says this was like a contract. Law implied this contract. So it is not actually a contract, but for law it is just like a contract, and thus it is called as a quasi-contract. We'll discuss quasi-contract in detail in the last part of this act. There I'll give you many more examples and we'll get into the depth of this concept, the quasi-contracts. So with this, we are done with the types of contract on the basis of formation. So there are 4 types of contracts on the basis of formation. Also, please remember that quasi-contracts are also a type of implied contract. So implied contract has 2 types. Again, express contracts has 2 types, spoken and written. So in all, on the basis of formation, the contracts can be classified as express contracts, and in express contracts you have oral contracts and written contracts. Then you have implied contracts, and under implied contracts you have tacit contracts and quasi contracts.